What's up, Steelers Nation? Our Pittsburgh Steelers continue to work tirelessly, improving week after week, searching for ways to sharpen every detail and bring the best results possible. That's the standard here in Pittsburgh, always chasing greatness, no matter what challenges come our way. And let me tell you, the past few days have brought us some breaking news that could have a massive impact on this defense moving forward. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button if you bleed black and gold, because it helps this community grow and gets more Steelers fans into the conversation. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Join the family so you never miss a single update on your team. Now, let's get into today's big story. The Steelers have a plan for replacing Jalen Ramsey, who could be out for several games with a hamstring injury. This one hurt to watch. Late in the third quarter of the Steelers' Week 4 matchup in Dublin, Ireland against the Minnesota Vikings, Jalen Ramsey pulled up while covering wide receiver Jordan Addison. You could see immediately that something wasn't right. He grabbed at his hamstring, made his way to the blue medical tent, and though he did return briefly in the fourth quarter, he wasn't on the field for Minnesota's final offensive drive. Now the bad news. According to Jerry Dulac of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Ramsey is expected to miss several games following the Steelers' Week 5 bye. That's a major blow. Ramsey, at 30 years old, has been one of the key pieces of this retooled secondary. His versatility, his leadership, and his ability to match up with the league's top receivers have been a huge part of Teryl Austin's defensive strategy. But here's the reality. Injuries happen, especially over a long season. Defensive coordinator Teryl Austin addressed the situation this week, and his comments were telling. He said, "I think it's like any time you lose a starter. You're going to have to work through those things. But right now, it's typical. It happens. Because you have to deal with it every year. Most of the time, it's not the same starting unit out there all 17 games. So we'll work our way through it if it shows up that way. We'll figure it out." In other words, the Steelers knew something like this could happen, and they've been preparing. The problem is, it's not just Ramsey. The Steelers' cornerback room has been battered by injuries all season. Joey Porter Jr. has been sidelined since Week 1 after his own hamstring injury against the Jets. He's missed the past 3 games and remains uncertain heading into Week 6. That's 2 starters, Ramsey and Porter Jr., both dealing with soft tissue injuries. Brandon Echols gave fans a scare in Dublin when he left in the fourth quarter, but thankfully, it was just cramping. He told reporters he'll be good to go for Cleveland in Week 6. That's a sigh of relief. Darius Slay Jr. also has been battling through pain. He sustained a leg contusion in Week 3 against the Patriots, and against the Vikings, he was seen grabbing his side. He returned to finish the game, but the guy has been taking a beating all season. This paints the picture of a secondary that has been stretched thin already, and now the loss of Ramsey makes things even more challenging. So what does the plan look like? For Teryl Austin and this defense, it means getting creative. Ramsey wasn't just another cornerback. He's been playing safety, slot, and outside corner, taking on a hybrid role similar to what Charles Woodson once did late in his career. Without him, the Steelers will likely lean more heavily on Deshawn Elliot and Juan Thornhill in safety roles, while Echols and Slay hold down the outside. If Joey Porter Jr. can return sooner than expected, that's a huge boost. But until then, look for Pittsburgh to rotate younger players and potentially even dip into free agency or practice squad depth to find answers. The secondary is about to be tested, and the coaching staff knows it. Speaking of Elliott, he made headlines this week, and not just for his play. After returning in Week 4 from a knee injury, Elliott was everywhere. He racked up a sack, grabbed an interception, and was a difference maker in the win. But instead of celebrating his comeback performance, the NFL slapped him with a $5,797 fine for, you guessed it, a uniform infraction. The issue? A black towel. Yes, you heard that right. The NFL requires that towels be white, licensed, and league approved. Elliott's black towel violated that rule, and he was not happy about it. On Instagram, he posted the fine letter with the caption, "Count your blanks days. Y'all worried about the wrong things. Let's fix things that actually mean something." And honestly, he's right. How can the league be so strict about something as small as a towel when players are out there risking serious injuries every week? To make matters worse, black is literally one of the Steelers' primary uniform colors. Fans across social media backed Elliott, calling the fine unnecessary and ridiculous. But here's the silver lining. If Elliott is playing with that kind of fire, you know he's going to bring even more intensity on the field. And with Ramsey out, his role becomes even more important. The timing of the Week 5 bye is crucial. It gives players like Porter Jr., Slay, and even Ramsey himself an extra week to heal before a huge AFC North showdown against the Cleveland Browns. Pittsburgh's defense has been carrying this team through the first month, and keeping it intact is key for the playoff push. This bye also gives Terrell Austin and Mike Tomlin time to evaluate adjustments, whether that's scheming more zone coverages to mask the cornerback injuries or dialing up heavier pressure up front with T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith to take pressure off the secondary. One thing hasn't changed. The Steelers' defense is still the backbone of this team. Even with injuries, this group has found ways to dominate games, whether it's Watt wrecking offensive lines, Minkah Fitzpatrick flying around in coverage, or role players stepping up when their numbers are called. Replacing Ramsey won't be easy. You don't replace a player of that caliber with one move. It takes a team effort, adjustments in the secondary, discipline in coverage, and relentless pressure up front. But if there's any franchise built to handle adversity, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. As you all know, Pittsburgh lost wide receiver Calvin Austin III to a shoulder injury in that wild Week 4 win over the Minnesota Vikings in Dublin. And while the injury hurts the offense, Austin was locked in as the number 2 receiver. It might hurt even more on special teams. Why? Because Austin was the trusted punt returner. He was the guy Mike Tomlin could count on to flip the field with his speed, vision, and fearlessness. Losing him means losing a reliable, game-changing weapon. And now, heading into Week 6 after the bye, the Steelers need to figure out who takes on that responsibility. The first option is a name fans already know, Scotty Miller. The journeyman wide receiver has been around the league, and while he doesn't jump off the page physically, he's earned respect as a shifty, quick player who can make something happen with the ball in his hands.
Miller had a strong preseason for Pittsburgh, and when Austin went down against the Vikings, he was immediately thrown into the mix. He didn't have a huge role, just one target in the passing game, but the coaching staff values his experience and steady hands. The biggest advantage of going with Miller is trust. He's been in big moments before, including playoff games during his Tampa Bay Buccaneers days. He knows how to handle pressure, he knows his assignments, and he's unlikely to make mental mistakes. That reliability could make him the favorite to step in as punt returner, at least temporarily. But here's where it gets exciting. The Steelers also have a wild card option waiting on the practice squad, rookie Keyshawn Williams. Williams isn't a household name. He hasn't seen the field yet on Sundays, and at just 5'9", 190 pounds, he's undersized, much like Austin. But don't let that fool you. In pre-draft testing, Williams ran a 4.5-second 40-yard dash and posted a 39-inch vertical leap. That combination of speed and explosiveness makes him a real threat if he gets the opportunity. What makes Williams intriguing is that he plays with the same style as Austin, small but elusive, fast but controlled, and with the kind of football IQ that can make him valuable on special teams before he's ready to contribute on offense. With a bye week to practice and prepare, he's getting real reps in the return game. And there's a growing sense inside the organization that he could be elevated to the 53-man roster before the Week 6 matchup against the Cleveland Browns. And think about this. Sometimes the most dangerous players are the ones no one is game planning for. Williams could become the Steelers' secret weapon, stepping into a role where all he needs is one big return to change the course of a game. Some fans might be asking, it's just punt returns, how big a deal is this? Well, ask any coach, and they'll tell you, special teams flips the field. One returner with vision and confidence can put the offense in scoring position, and one mistake, a muffed punt, a fumble, can lose you a game instantly. That's why the decision matters so much. Tomlin and special teams coordinator Danny Smith have to weigh the safe option, Miller, versus the explosive but untested option, Williams. Do you go with experience, or do you take a chance on youth? The timing of the bye week could not be better for Pittsburgh. This gives the coaching staff extra time to evaluate both options, to get Williams comfortable in live reps, and to ensure Miller is fully prepared if he's the choice. No roster elevation is required until just before Week 6, which means the Steelers have maximum flexibility before making the call. Of course, all of this connects to the bigger picture, the Steelers' wide receiver room. With Austin down, the team has to dig deeper into its depth chart. DK Metcalf remains the #1 guy with his chemistry with Aaron Rodgers, but beyond that, things are thin. That's why Miller could see more offensive snaps. He's not just competing for the punt return job, he's also competing to carve out a real role in this offense. Meanwhile, Williams may start out as a return specialist, but if he impresses, who's to say he can't earn more opportunities in the passing game later this season? If there's one thing we know about Mike Tomlin, it's that he values preparation and accountability. He's not going to put someone back there to return punts unless he's confident they won't let the team down. That's why this decision will come down to trust. Tomlin has shown time and again that he's not afraid to trust young players if they've earned it in practice. So don't be surprised if Williams gets a chance sooner than later. But at the same time, he's also leaned on veterans when stability is the priority. Miller fits that bill. So here's where we stand, Steelers Nation. Jalen Ramsey is likely out for multiple games with that hamstring injury. Joey Porter Jr. is still working his way back. Darius Slay and Brandon Echols are playing banged up. And yet, this defense continues to fight, continues to adapt, and continues to prove why it's one of the toughest units in the NFL. The coaching staff says they have a plan. The question is, do you believe in it? Can the Steelers survive without Ramsey for the next few weeks? Or do you think Omar Khan needs to explore a trade or free agent signing to keep this secondary afloat? Drop your thoughts down below in the comments. I'll be reading every one of them. And once again, don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown and subscribe for more exclusive Steelers news and analysis. Steelers Nation, this team has been through adversity before, and they've always found a way. The road just got tougher, but that's when Pittsburgh football shines the brightest.